currents and can appear calm on the surface and have very dangerous currents underneath that could sweep you away. We've got the Public Works working on assessing roads and infrastructure and bridges to kind of look at how we can possibly start to, if it rises to a level where we need to evacuate and move the population out of certain areas just because it's not safe to go in there. The water's too deep. You know, you may not be able to go back and forth to your home because it's too swift. You know, we've got the shelter set up, and we're working very closely with the Sheriff's Department at this time to identify, you know, how and where we're going to be implementing some of these evacuation warnings and possibly rise to the level of an evacuation order. So we just want to be sure everyone's aware that if you live anywhere near a stream, the small tributaries that feed the Clark Fork, or any of these places where water can rise, and if it may not even affect your home, but it might affect your roadways, your driveways, your access in and out of these places, and be extremely cautious. Do not attempt to drive through any flood water or areas where the water is washing across a road. It may look okay on the surface, and underneath there may be deep holes and pits and other things that may trap you, and you could end up getting in a bad situation. So just everybody could just be very careful out there. It'd be much appreciated. If you go to that website, the health department is providing assistance for folks who are on wells and septic systems. They'll do some testing for you if you can contact them. On another note, the Army Corps of Engineers are also coming in to this afternoon. They'll be providing technical assistance and kind of taking a look at the levees and the different situations out there, and seeing if there's somewhere where we can use their supplies and expertise to bolster up our defenses and make a difference out there. I just can't stress enough how dangerous this could be, and how, you know, like Leanne stated, it's been decades since we've seen floodwater of this extent, and we don't know exactly where it's going to end up. There's been a lot of development since 1975, and so we just want to be, we want to carry that message forward that if you live anywhere where water can affect you, just be prepared. And we're using the Smart 911 system right now, and we would encourage people who live in these areas to sign up for Smart 911. That's how we communicate some of these alerts and how we're going to get that emergency information to you on if the river's rising to a level that's dangerous for your neighborhood. We're going to send out those alerts. The Sheriff's Department's going to be active, going door to door and trying to alert people to the situation, so that we can try and get all this information out to you as quickly as possible. And it's most important, you know, the life safety is always our top priority. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody to get sick. And so we're doing everything we can to keep the population safe. And please come to that public meeting on Monday, 6 o'clock at Hawthorne Elementary. We're going to have, everybody will be there, and we'll be talking about what we're going to be doing into the future. And this is a long-term event. We're planning for this to go on into June. And so we want people to be aware that if you have prescriptions you need filled, you know, anything from your home that you're going to need, have that stuff ready to go, because you may have to come out of your home and the water may be too dangerous to go back in. And so you may be separated from your household for an extended period. And if there's any preparations that you need to take, please take them now. Get everything in order, and you may be displaced from your residence for a long period of time. So thank you guys for coming. And if you have any questions, that website's a great place for information, but please feel free to call us also. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Brandon, Assistant Chief of Operations for the Missoula Fire Department and part of the Missoula County Incident Management Team. So we wanted to kind of just carry on a little bit of the hazards and things to be prepared of that you've heard from Ken a little bit. So our biggest push today is stay informed and be prepared and create that plan. There's a lot of hazards that Ken spoke about, but there's things that we don't think about are underground utilities, the floating debris coming down the river, and the cold water with hypothermia. Also, in those flooding areas, if you're out working in there, sandbagging, you know, keep in mind to be able to deal with those exposures as well. So limit your access and stay out of those flooding areas. We, with the incident management team in place, because this is such a broad incident and emergency that's coming through Missoula County with all the entities from Seeley Lake all the way from the Clark Fork and then down towards the Mineral County line. The incident management team will be helping coordinate and support those functions of the Sheriff's Department, who has direct oversight in all of that, to the Public Works and Weather Operations and all the entities involved. So we have those tactical objectives and response plans in place, and we'll be looking at and giving daily information and pushing those out with our team. This is Chief Chris Newman from the Missoula Rural Fire Department, and he'd like to say a few things.
Yeah, the biggest thing that we want to reiterate is, number one, staying informed and being prepared. And we don't see this as a whole lot different than a wildfire situation, in that if you receive a warning, please heed that warning and be prepared. We obviously hope for the best, but we prepare for the worst, and we want people to do the same thing. So take those warnings seriously, be prepared. I know it's already been said, but make sure you've got any kind of medications that are necessary that you'll need to have, because there's a chance that you may not be able to get back in. So stay informed through the Missoula County website and the different social media platforms that all the information is being put out on. And it's good information. It's being updated on a very regular basis. So please just stay informed, and let's not be victims because we weren't prepared. So, thank you.
All right. And do you have a question, Peter?
Yes, sir. Does this flood have the potential of blocking any of the major roadways coming into and out of Missoula, into and out of Lolo?
At this point, it looks like the Target Range neighborhood, specifically north of 3rd Street. And I have some photos that I'll go over. That's kind of our primary focus right now. I'm not aware of any of the primary arterials that would be affected. So the Sheriff's Office is going to lead the way on getting out into those areas and notifying homeowners. And almost like fire evacuations, will be going door to door, speaking with people, and giving them the warnings that an evacuation may be likely to occur. Smart 911 has been super helpful in Missoula. I'd ask people that haven't yet signed up for Smart 911 to do so on the county website, so that we can have specialized information on people with special needs for their movement, their families, their animals out of those areas. Our dispatch center today is going to be putting out an alert around 16:30 hours to notify those residents in that specific area. And even though we know that we're not evacuating homes today, that as we move further into this process, that the water can be very dangerous. And really, it's the undercurrent. It's the things that you're not able to see. So a lot of times people think that they can look at it themselves, but we know that visually a person's not able to see all the hazards and be aware of all the dangers that the water presents. So a lot has already been said today, but we had one of our lieutenants go out today to bring you some updated pictures, and he flew a Sheriff's Department drone, specifically in the area north of 3rd, between Tower and Clements. And I printed out some still pictures, and I'll make these images available for the media as well. If you can pause right there, this is Kerwald Street here, and then this is the north end of Tower Street here. And I printed out some stills as well. But I'll just end with, there's so many talented people that work with Missoula County, so many years of experience with our emergency folks in operations, with our fire folks, and it's a team effort. And I'm sure that if you have a question today, that someone in this room will be able to answer it, because there's a lot of good experience here. So I'll go ahead and open it up to some questions. Martin?
Is there any estimate on how many residents live in the area that you're concerned about? The areas that will be knocking on doors?
There is, and Ken, did we have an updated number?
I think what I got from GIS was there was around 1,400 address points in there.
830, yeah, that was
Okay.
revised, it's 830 structures.
Okay.
New information, 830 address structures that we have identified in there for potential warnings and evacuations.
8:30. Okay. Dave?
So the homes are the properties that are inundated out here around the tower and whatnot. Are those folks self-evacuated, or are there people still occupying those residences?
They're still occupied. If you go to a couple videos down, you'll actually see some people in waiters that are, had to wait in to get their homes. So no one is evacuated that I'm aware of. There are some temporary road blocks for local traffic only on Tower and I believe Short Street as well. So.
And I'm sorry to
No, that's
correct you, but I do think that there are a couple people who have utilized the Red Cross shelter that was set up at Christ the King Church. So I think some people have self-evacuated,
Okay.
but I don't have those numbers exactly.
Just a couple down here. This is actually good as well, a good photo because it shows the groundwater that we're dealing with as well. So the flooding water obviously dirty and stuff, but we're starting to see some of the groundwater pop up as well. And some of it's good.
Last question, I'm sorry. Is the fairgrounds taking livestock, or is there plans to address livestock or vets, or?
It's in the works right now, Mark.
Okay. But again, I want to thank everybody for being here on such short notice on a beautiful Sunday. So, and I'll be around, and if you have any questions. Ann, would you like to come up to the podium?
No.
Okay.
Just the media update that you have in your hands, just as a reminder, we're posting those to the news releases webpage at Missoula County's website. So that's something that we're updating every day. It's a long document, but there's a lot of really great information in there that can be helpful.
Yeah. And we'll start the notices with the deputy sometime tomorrow. We'll have a team of deputies out working in this neighborhood to meet with the residents. So, all right, thank you. And if anyone would like some of these photos or videos, I'll make sure that we get it sent to you. So, thank you.